모든 경기장 도시락.
All right, guys, here we are on Shattered Temple in the red from the team ZeNEX playing Protoss. It is ZeNEXTREME. And over on the other side of the map at the 9 o'clock position in the blue from the team StarTale, I think one of the most underrated Terrans out there right now in the Korean StarCraft 2 scene. He's very good. Will he show it today? It is StarTale.Virus.
All right, so talk to us about Virus a little bit. So,
All right.
I'd like to know what kind of player he is, what you've seen from him lately.
I just noticed him making really good decisions in games.
Good decision maker.
I guess I could use the comparison that he reminds me a little bit of Leenock in that I always like to use like Leenock and Jokji as comparisons to other players.
Sure.
So when you think of a player like that, you think of a player who in a game situation can change their build or alter things depending on how they see, and generally just seem to be always making that right decision.
Oh, cool.
Now, being that Virus hasn't been very successful in the GSL, he has been in Codes once or twice, so he's gotten up there, but he hasn't done terribly well, so obviously he's not quite the refined Terran player that we would see in like an MVP or a Jokji or an MMA. But I think he's really, really solid, and I think he's just a good all-around player for StarTale to lead off with.
Great. Well, I'm really looking forward to his matches now, so we'll see.
You should.
Oh, okay, fine. I will.
Okay.
All right.
Fine.
God. And here on Cross Positions now on Shattered Temple, so it should make for a fun match as well. This is a map that's been falling out of favor in tournament play and things like that recently. Of course, I like to reiterate a few times, we operate a very large map pool because we have best of 9s, and we don't want maps to largely overlap, or we want certain maps to be able to be they don't have to be picked. People have options, but we're always evaluating our map pool. We got some great responses from our question about what sort of map you'd like to see into pool play here.
Yeah, and to a certain extent, it's hard to please everybody too. Everyone has their own individual preferences about map pools, so sometimes you just have to deal with it.
Well, deal with it they will. We've had some great sets this week as well. My God, we've had our first 3 went 8 games. Then we had a 9-game set last night, so which was ridiculous. If you guys haven't seen any of those, you absolutely have to go check those out.
Yeah, Thorzane versus Naniwai. If you don't have a lot of time and you want to be entertained, it's not a bad one to watch.
Yeah, no, definitely go check that one out. Yep. So I will recommend out of that set, though, the game between Maru and Sase. It was probably the best game there. So
looks like a 2 barracks opening from Virus. This is kind of not quite as popular on the Korean server as it has been in the past, but you still see it quite a bit. It's a good way to put some early pressure on your opponent. Protoss players do like to go Nexus first or 1-gate expand a lot in this matchup. So if they do, you can definitely punish them for that. That SCV was just the most clumsy SCV ever. He couldn't manage to make his way around that tiny Zealot on that big ramp, but nice little control with the
the
positioning
positioning there was ridiculous. I mean, because if you saw
funny.
where he had the Zealot positioned right there, he knew that's where the SCV was going to make its way up and pass through if it was on its way to the middle of the base. So he blocks it, and since the SCV actually wasn't on any sort of a barracks moving to the low ground now for Virus, since the SCV wasn't on a wasn't mineral clicked or anything like that, it wasn't just going to pass on through, and he repositioned the Zealot perfectly. That was actually really cute by Extreme.
Yeah. So this SCV, normally you want to use this to soak up a little bit of damage with this little push, but obviously he's not going to be able to do that quite as much. But basically what you want to do is get in there, see if you can kill off the first couple units without taking any losses, and then try to maybe get him to pull some probes and kill off like 2 or 3 probes.
Sure.
And then pull back. So it's just kind of a little poke to see what your opponent's doing, keeps them honest. Doesn't look like it's going to work terribly well for Virus this time around, although he does have the second Marauder coming in there now. Okay, never mind. That's actually going to work pretty well. ZeNEXTREME actually could control that a little bit better here.
I definitely agree. Virus' control has been really good, though, on the other hand. He intercepted that Stalker perfectly. Went after the Stalker. Oh, bye-bye. Right. Went after the Stalker specifically.
Oh, be careful. Oh. And that's what you don't want to do, because the Marauder, he's like, there, he fit through. Wow. Actually, Virus getting really lucky.
Oh, yes, he is.
ZeNEXTREME messed up on that force field, man. This is like best case scenario here.
This is like potentially game ending right now. So let's see. Virus is just going to start chugging through a bunch of probes. More being pulled off the line. There's only a sentry remaining, and the force field was already used. So Virus knows he can back down the ramp. He's already killed 9 workers. His opponent just had 20 supply.
All right. Yeah, he's going to lose quite a few probes here. Normally, this is not this successful, but you really see what can happen if your opponent screws up and you get in there. Yeah, I mean, that's, well, all right. Well, that was a fast first game.
Sure, okay.